In today's video, I want to talk about the top 5 reasons why your ads might not be working. Reason is there's so much misinformation and so much bullshit out there on the internet today. So if you go into the YouTube rabbit hole, for example, you'll likely just end up more confused than you were before starting going down the YouTube rabbit hole. So as someone who's been working with paid ads for 5 years and worked with well over 100 clients at this point, I think I can pretty safely give you some more like top level pointers that you can look at to actually determine what might be the issue and why your ads might not be performing at the level you want them to. Also, if you're new to the channel, my name is Rasmus. I'm the owner of Minix, a performance marketing agency that specializes in helping e-commerce brands scale through UGC and paid advertising on a performance-based approach. And that means that we only take a small percentage of the revenue we actually make you as a client. So the 5 things I'm going to tell you about today is actually also some of the things we look at when auditing clients ourselves. And if we can find just one of these 5 things, we're pretty certain in every single case that we can actually help the client out and help them scale to the next level. So let's get into it. So the first reason why your ads might not be performing at the level you want them to is because your conversion rate is simply too low. So if you're someone right now that's been struggling with paid ads and paid ads performance for a really long time, right? Like not just 1, 2, or 3 months, but maybe 6, 12, 24 months, this is likely the issue because you need to realize that your conversion rate literally impacts everything in your business, not just your ads, but also the amount of traffic you convert into paying customers from organic traffic, for example. So when I raise this issue to clients or potential clients and I tell them, hey, your conversion rate is not up to par, it's not where it should be at, most of the time I'll get a response back where they say something like, yeah, but the conversion rate shouldn't make it that difficult to be profitable, right? Or they sell something like, hey, yeah, but we really like our website. We think it's really pretty and it's really on brand. But you cannot fall into that trap. It will simply destroy your entire business if you get into this defensive mindset and purely look at your website through your own eyes and not the consumers and your customers' eyes. Like the businesses that thrives and the clients we work with that performs the best are the ones that can take in feedback quickly and then act on it. So if your conversion rate right now objectively is just too low to become profitable with your paid ad, it tells you one or 2 things. Either your product or your offer just sucks and no one wants it, or it tells you that your customers just simply doesn't get enough information to actually make a buying decision, and that's why they're bouncing off your page. And just to drill this home for you, let's just take a very quick example, right? Like let's say your conversion rate right now is 1% and you need to be at a 2% conversion rate just to hit like industry average benchmark, right? If you can get that from 1 to 2%, not only will you make double the revenue and your ads will perform, twice as good on paper, you will be able to scale your ads to a much higher level than you even could dream of before, because now you're converting double the traffic, so your cost per acquisition is literally half of what it was. So this will allow you to now go from, let's say, 10 grand a month in ad spend to 50 or 100 grand a month in ad spend just from that small little change. So you really just need to take the emotions out of it and you need to look at your website through your customers' eyes. Take the emotion out of it. I know it's difficult, but that's what you need to do. The second thing is you don't have enough focus on creative output. So if you think that you can just make, one TikTok video or one simple video ad or one image or one GIF, whatever it might be, and think you can hit a home run, I'm sorry to tell you, but you're in for a big surprise. People vastly underestimate the amount of creatives you actually need to become successful. And let's say you even hit a home run, right? Like what do you do after that? What do you do when that ad hits creative fatigue and it doesn't work anymore? Then you're just gonna come right back to where you were before. So that's why you need a creative output on an ongoing basis. You need a high cadence for your creative output. So what I would advise you to do is come up with some sort of system internally where maybe just 1 or 2 days a week, you can just sit down and collect all the content you've gotten from your influencers, content creators, customers, what you post on social media, etc., etc. All these different places where you should be collecting content from. If you're not right now, you need to be working with content creators, you need to be working with influencers, and you need to gather testimonials from your existing customers. And then you just need to, spend a couple hours a week collecting all that in a Dropbox or a Google Drive and just store that one place. So when you find a winning ad formula or winning creative formula, you can just replicate that because you have so many creatives in a database that you can just pick from. So depending on your budget and how much you're spending on ads, etc., I would say aim to get at least 3 to 6 new creatives a week. And that might sound like a lot to you, but you also need to remember you're already spending money on ads, right? You want to get the most bang for your buck anyways, so you might as well spend a few extra dollars to then get your ROAS from 1x to a 2x or 2x to a 3x, right? right? Third reason why your ads might not be performing the way you want them to is because you're restricting yourself with brand guidelines. So having brand guidelines and having, a brand playbook can be a great thing just to keep everything cohesive, right? But they can also limit your ability to actually test new creative trends and, hop on the bandwagon of whatever might be performing right here, right now on platforms like TikTok that's very much trend driven. And if you have such a strict brand guideline, you will just lose out to your competitors who might not be as strict. So if you're someone right now that fails to capitalize on, trends on TikTok and Instagram Reels, you need to ask yourself what you're afraid of, because the ad is just what sells the click. The website and your packaging and your products, it's what sells the branding. But if you then limit yourself, right, in your ability to actually sell the click through your brand playbook, no one's gonna see your branding. So if you have a really strict brand guideline and you actually think you provide something to the marketplace that a lot of people should have in their hands, maybe you actually wanna decrease how strict you are when it comes to your creatives on your paid ads and paid socials, because then you can get your products into the hands of more people, right? And also you need to think about, do I really wanna limit my capacity to make high converting videos on platforms like Facebook and TikTok and Snapchat when people will literally not remember the ads 3 minutes after clicking the ad? Because if you care so much about what's in the actual video and that it has to be on brand, you value your brand more than you value revenue and profits. And I thought that was why we were all in business. Reason number 4 why your ads is not performing is because you're trying to hack the algorithm. So if you're into the paid ad space, right, you've probably come across a couple TikTok videos or YouTube videos, at least back in the day, of people saying, cost cap this campaign and bid cap that ad set and, surf up the budget until 4:30 p.m. And then if your CPA is 3.68 times your average order value, then you need to stop all the campaigns and only launch new campaigns at midnight and doing like all this crazy stuff, right? And let me just save you a lot of time here. It's just all nonsense. The only thing you should be worried about is the fundamentals and getting the fundamentals straight. Like, you need to realize that Facebook has been in business for many, many years now. I think 15 years. Maybe their app platform has been out for, I think 13 at this point, 12. But over that period of time, Facebook has collected billions of data points on all their customers. So if you're trying to outsmart a machine that's been running for 11, 10, 12 years, collecting billions of data points on all its users, it does make sense that you're gonna get outsmarted by the machine and you're eventually just gonna end up shooting yourself in the foot. So what you need to do is you need to let Facebook, for example, or Google or TikTok or Snapchat, you need to let their platforms do the heavy lifting for you. That's what they're there for. The only job you have as an advertiser is to serve the best possible ad and serve the best possible experience to your customers as possible. Marketing today is not that different than it was 50 years ago. The only real difference is just that you can test a lot more ads in a very short period of time compared to 50 years ago, where you bought a banner for a month somewhere on Times Square or whatever, and then you just hope to work. Now you can actually split test stuff at a much faster rate than what you could. And then the fifth and final reason as to why your ads is not performing is because you're simply unwilling to pay for a customer. And so there's a pretty famous quote that says, the one who can pay the most to acquire a customer wins. And this analogy really applies to 3 things. First, it implies that the person who's paying the most has a shit ton of money, right? Second thing is that they know when a customer will buy again from them. And the third thing is that they know how much a customer is worth, and that's why they can spend so much money on acquiring a customer. See, a very big reason of why you're not spending 100 grand a month right now on Facebook ads or Google ads is because you look at the Facebook ads dashboard, for example, and you have a mental model that is, I spent this and I got this back, and that's the end of story. But reality is much more complex than that. What is much better for you to look at is, instead of looking at ROAS, is just to look at how many new customers did this spend get me. But that specific metric is not something that Facebook or Google will actually show you. But when you just look at the ads dashboard, right, and you see an 8x return on ad spend, that story tells you absolutely nothing. It doesn't tell you if that was a repeat customer. It doesn't tell you when the customer will come back. It doesn't tell you the lifetime value of that customer. It tells you that you spend $50 on acquiring this customer and they spent $400 with you, and that's it. That's all you know from that 8x return on ad spend, right? But would you rather spend $50 acquiring a returning customer, or would you rather spend $100 acquiring a new customer? You would probably choose the latter, right? It's better to acquire a new customer and pay for that, because you can probably make the logical sense that acquiring a new customer would be much better for you over the long run. But that's just not how you're looking at it when you're just looking in the Facebook ads dashboard. So what you need to do is you need to figure out a way to track how many new customers you're getting, and then you need to become comfortable actually spending a lot more money on acquiring a new customer, because that customer will be much more worth it for you in the long run. And then basically what you just focus on is you switch your focus from looking at return on ad spend to looking at how many times are my customers buying. Because let's say you spend, $20 more on acquiring a customer, but you can get that customer to buy from you 8 times instead of 3, right? That $20 difference is going to make you so much more money, because your focus now is actually on retention and not just some arbitrary metric like return on ad spend. And that right there, focusing on retention, that's what the big dogs are doing. That's what the $1 million brands are doing, where they're spending $250,000 to $1 million plus a month, is that they're just looking at Facebook ads and Google ads and all these ad platforms as acquisition channels, not as profit centers. Profit center is your email and SMS database. Facebook ads is not. So just to quickly recap here on the 5 reasons why your ads aren't working, right? First off is that your overall conversion rate is too low. Second is that there's not enough focus on creative output. Third is that you're restricting yourself with brand guidelines. Number 4 is that you're trying to hack the algorithm instead of focusing on good marketing and fundamentals. And then the last thing is that you're actually doing quite well, but you're just unwilling to pay for a customer, or maybe you don't know what sort of customers you're getting through the door. So I hope you learned something in this video. If you have any feedback or any questions, feel free to drop them down below. I would love to answer. And if you like this video, make sure to give it a like and subscribe to the channel. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Take care. Bye.